KTUI time is 10:05, and the current temperature is 44 degrees. I'm Sam Scott for KTUI.
The Statesman of the Year.
Yeah. Hey, good morning and welcome back. Here we are live at the White Mule Winery on the high plains of Gasconade County. 47 degrees here at airtime. A chilly 47 because there's moisture in the air. And if you look up above, cloudy, pretty cloudy and cloudy. And there's a little blue haze to the cloud. But Sam just said that a pretty good possibility for rain this afternoon, so we'll take it as it comes. Since we last left you, we had, I'm just going to say, around an inch. How about that? You know, around an inch of rain, of which I didn't necessarily ask for. I was trying to save my wishes for July and August, but, you know, we'll absolutely take it as it comes. And it has greened the grass up this week. Maybe slowed down just a little bit, although it's getting a start on it, and that's what we need. We hay feeders and people that have cows always look, forward to turning the cows out. Even better, Dorothea, than sales day, isn't it? Turning the cows out to grass is even better.
That's one of my very favorite days of the year.
I know.
I have taken photos.
It is awesome. Well, it's good for you to be with us here today on KTUI 1560 AM, 94.1 FM. Or if you happen to be watching on Facebook Live, you'll see that we have two beautiful young women here today, and I'm always so glad to see either one of these.
Geez.
What do you
Pretty much.
I am in absolute mixed company. But no, it is a pleasure for Dorothea Kepke and Amy Estes to be with us, and no stranger. They're no stranger, and we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be talking about is Farm Bureau, but what we're really going to be talking about is the strength of the women in Farm Bureau, because if you believe that the Farm Bureau is a good thing, and most of us do, without a doubt, you will come to realize where the real strength in Farm Bureau lies, and that is, the women, like it is in agriculture, like it is at the White Mule Winery, like it is.
Now you're sucking up.
He is trying to make amends.
I'm working at it this morning.
I see a lunch in your future.
I think a dinner, actually.
Yeah, well, some days are just like that, but it is a pleasure, ladies. It is a pleasure to have you here, and your organization really always has a lot going on. And Amy, you are tell me what you are.
A lot of things, but my title, I am the chairman of the P&E Promotion and Education Committee with Missouri Farm Bureau. But recently, I'm just finishing out my first year as American Farm Bureau Promotion and Education Committee member. So I was appointed to that last April, and so coming up on the end of my first year on a 2-year term, the first of first two-year terms.
No wonder she travels.
I just told her what I've seen her. And I don't even do Facebook, so I'm not as tired as everybody else. Probably watches your travel schedule, but you are in the know and on the move.
Yes, definitely.
There's no question about it.
My washing machine gets a lot of love on days like today when I just got back. So yeah.
And Dorothea Kepke, part of the institutions of Gasconade County, without a doubt. We talked about you. We just mentioned your father. You know what I'm saying this morning, educator, and both of you are educators. Without a doubt. And teaching and being part of our collective communities for just a few years, but not and grew up right down the creek here.
Right.
I mean, right down
Right
the
across
creek.
50.
You know, right down Second Creek, and you know, it was good back then, and it's still good. I don't know why the heck you moved out of the community, but you know, did Jim have something to do with
There
that?
was this guy. I don't know.
They do that to a lot of people. I moved across the state.
I know.
my
I
God.
know. Well, anyway, it's good to have you both, and I do appreciate all your endeavors and what you do and did and will continue to do for us, you know, in agriculture and for us in education. Because, wow, do we or do we not have a lot going on in both of those fields right now?
We do.
More change, and let's just talk about the education thing, because and we'll get into the Farm Bureau, if that's okay.
No, that's
We'll
fine.
get into the Farm Bureau issues that are there, but we also have some local, you know, issues that we're going to be talking about here, and I know both of you know very well how great of a school system we got, and how blessed we are to have, you know, that school system here, and the campus we have is almost, you know, a complete campus with everything on one footprint, and you know, it's absolutely awesome to have that, and everybody is proud of it. And they want to put a few additions on here coming up. A no tax
Yes,
bond issue here.
yes,
Tell me about that.
We, gosh, as long as I can remember, we've talked about, you know, adding performing arts center. We've talked about having a place to showcase the choir, the band, even our visual arts program, you know, a gallery, instead of just displaying it in a trophy case along the walls. We have some needs for some upgraded classrooms, taking the ag building and making it fully ag and vocational pieces, whereas moving the weight room out of there and putting it closer to the gymnasium and where it could be more beneficial in the main building. Our kids are having to walk and we have a lot of kids that are involved in our ag program, and
A lot of kids.
a lot of kids. We turn out a lot of kids from that program, and they're still having to walk outside the school to go to the ag building, rain or shine, sleet, snow, and hail, which is not a huge deal. However, it is a concern. It is a safety issue at times, and so they're looking at adding this additional building to connect the two buildings, to provide a storm shelter, so that it's safe. So, and let's face it, you know, we've got mid-Missouri weather. We're not immune to a tornado, high winds, that type of thing. And that would provide a place for our kids to go should they need to shelter at school. And then upgrading some handicap accessible entrances at Gerald. Again, safety is a huge priority for our school district. I work in a lot of schools with my other job, and I visit a lot of schools. We're one of the only schools that I'm aware of that I work in out of 115 in several different states that doesn't have a double entry system into a school. Most of the schools that I go to, you punch in, you're in a vestibule, you submit your credentials, and then you're approved to come in the building. We hit a button, the secretaries make the decision, and they are allowing us in. We don't have that double entry system. So that is, again, one of the upgrades that they're looking at, being able to provide that secondary layer of support and safety for our kids. Obviously, we don't want anything to happen like at some of the other schools, but we're trying to put pieces in place so that we have that layer of protection for the students and the teachers.
And you know, when we're looking at the bigger picture right now, you know, even though interest rates have went up, you know, these bond issues are still very cheaply priced, you know,
Absolutely.
in regard to what they can secure money for long term. And, you know, I'm thinking selfishly about my grandkids, you know,
Sure,
at this
you got a lot of
juncture.
those.
I do. I do have several of those grandkids, and you know, that's all good. But a very good purpose and a very good opportunity to expand our ag and our skills in regard to, you know, carpentry and
Absolutely.
and all of the industrial kind of things.
Yeah.
there's not enough room, I'll tell you, because I've asked, I put it on my boys that work here list. I need more bale feeders. Well, they don't have space.
They don't have
They
space.
do not have the space to,
And
and
by-
they got the kids, and I
Right.
mean, we can use a lot of them, and what a great thing. The guys can make a little bit of extra cash on the side,
right, sure.
learn what they're doing, and look, those people will be in the payroll, within a year or two.
Right.
And if they go to state tech or whatever, but going in there with hands-on experience at 15, 14, whenever.
Right.
It means the world, doesn't it?
It does.
It does.
It absolutely does. And, expanding our industrial tech, we've heard conversations about bringing building trades back. When I was teaching, the big push was, college ready, 4-year college ready, 4-year college ready. And I'm so glad they have finally shifted that mindset to where we understand that vocational, not every kid needs to go to a 4-year institution to have a successful career. And our community would most benefit from kids that are having an opportunity to learn welding, learning, woodworking skills. My husband owns a business. Having a kid that can put a grease gun
Together?
would be amazing.
And know where to use it.
Exactly. I mean, those are the things that are going to help support our community and keep everybody rolling. Mechanics, heating and air conditioning folks. I'm not able to do that, and
Right.
I love my husband dearly. He's really not able to do that either. So that's a job we have to hire out. So having those
And that's
kids,
a good thing around here.
Oh, my gosh,
'cause
yes,
somebody
yes.
tries to do it around here sometimes.
yeah. No, let's.
And then,
And then you have to pay somebody to fix what you messed up.
no. That's my Rosebud tractor there, right?
There you go.
They just, where's the rest of the board, Chuck?
I don't know. So, giving
Yeah.
our kids really a firm foundation. And like you said, if they choose to go to state tech, they've already got some experience. They can help out on the farm. They can
Sure.
help grandparents. They can help with the white mule. I mean, all of those things, it's only
they
going to
do.
help us. So all of those things would be, and you had mentioned a very low bond debt. I think it's like 387 is what it is.
Is that- wow.
389, something like that. It's not
No.
it's not an extravagant amount of money. Should it and it's only going to extend the life. I believe it's 11 years. This current bond will sunset in 2033, and it's going to extend it to 2044, I think. I'll double check my math.
So that's.
But it's not an
It's an
extravagant amount.
affordable reach for,
It is an affordable
most of us, and Dorothea, we, through the years, have been tremendously fortunate to have the public behind the school
Support.
system here, 100%. I don't remember very many bond issues or very many opportunities where
No.
they have went to the people in Gasconade or R2 school district and said, we need this, and it hasn't been fulfilled.
Right.
As long as it's reasonable, these people in this community
Yep,
support.
absolutely. There's
right.
no
That's
question about it. And you're as a retired, teacher from there, did your due diligence there without a doubt. But you understand the real needs. You understand the real needs here in regard to finding kids' niche. Whatever they want to do, whatever they're good at, finding a motivating, situation is the only thing that I know of that pays dividends. You know what I'm saying, in regard to our kids, and expanding the portfolio of opportunities for the kids is kind of what it's all about. And anyway, so let's talk about FB. Let's talk about Farm Bureau, because there is so many levels of this, and there's so much from here to the top, that Farm Bureau does for the American farmer, and has been around. I don't remember, but early 1900s, if I recall. When they were instrumentally went, and if I remember right, Missouri Farm Bureau or Farm Bureau started. National Farm Bureau started in Saline County, Missouri, correct?
Correct.
Correct. See?
Yeah.
I remember part of stuff from my legislative days.
Uh-huh.
But, it was, it kind of started there with a need for, getting in tune and getting a ear of our legislators to some degree, and conglomerating, you know what I'm saying, grassroots, into the education part of what really goes on. And both of you are educators, and that's why I said what I said, because, that's an ongoing process forever. Being affiliated with you and the young farmers, and of which we all are,
Some of us are approaching the middle-aged farmer at this point in time, but yes.
Some of
So-
us are tired and retired.
It is a continual education, because
It
each
is.
and every year, you got new issues and new things and new positions, and informing people and doing your best to do that, is important. And the best way to do that, of course, is peer to peer, you know what I'm saying? And through your lots of work, because Amy travels everywhere doing everything, and you do too, Dorothea. I mean, you are very involved yet in this particular process. I don't know how many times a month, but numerous, that you're out there doing something affiliated with the organization.
Every day when you get a chance to educate people, you do, right?
Yeah.
I do my best, don't I, Grace?
The unique thing that Farm Bureau has to offer, it provides members a collective voice. So, that's something that is extremely important, because while I don't grow corn, but other farmers do. I'm not a cotton farmer, I'm not a rice farmer, but all of those commodities, all of those growers, all of those, they all have a place at the table. And so we can share what is happening on our farm, what is happening, with legislative pieces. We can share that together to come up with what our priorities need to be to help us all collectively. And we go from Missouri. In January every year, we have an annual meeting, and we're able to bring the entire 50 states together. And so we can come up with policies that help guide the legislators, not just in Jefferson City, but in Washington, D.C. as well. And that really, like you said, having the ear of the legislators is extremely important. And because most of them are not day-to-day on a farm.
Well,
they eat
yes.
every day, but
Yeah.
they don't know what the decisions they make are going to impact our day-to-day life.
And I think that's a good thing about going to the legislators. Those that are willing to listen, and we have some new legislators that are indeed willing to listen. I think that we learned that last week when we went to Jefferson City to the Capitol.
Yeah.
And and that's what we must do. We must get their attention, and not that everybody agrees all the time with everything. It's obvious. Gracie
Right.
don't agree with me all the time.
I
Can
can't
you
imagine why.
that?
I cannot imagine
and
why.
Thank you.
I've changed my mind once or twice even, but let's not tell nobody
Sure,
that.
no,
Yeah.
of course not, of course not. I got your back, Gracie.
But it is very important, because with term limits and what's going on at this juncture, and just simple little things. I was thinking about coming over here this morning, and I don't have very far to go. You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking about what's something about Farm Bureau that sticks with me, and you know what it was? You know what it is? Every year at Thanksgiving, they come out and they say what the price of Thanksgiving dinner
sure.
is.
Market.
And I think that resonates through a lot of people, a lot of different media. That's the benchmark, you know what I'm saying, of what's going on. And it comes to realization of the world and where we are, and it's amazing to me that sticks out. Of course, I like food.
Well,
Who doesn't?
And I think the fact that Americans, is it 9% of our income goes to food? I think it's
Right.
9%. And you go in other countries,
I do.
and it's just sad how much of their actual income has to go. And And who's to say it's safe food either?
Yeah.
But
Well, and
we are
and that
fortunate.
ain't, this is just Charlie's opinion. It has nothing to do with anything else, but that ain't gonna change. That ain't gonna change. I mean, food prices are, it's something that we're gonna be talking about from here on, because, you've got up and down supply and, demand issues that set a lot of the stage, in regard to the commodity thing, and that may go up and down.
Sure.
But there's such a static, situation on all the other costs before it gets to the table that there is not much choice, what I'm saying? And of course, everybody takes their profit end, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
There's no question.
And funny you say that. Looking at our food and farm facts that American Farm Bureau provides, in 1980, farmers received 31 cents out of every retail dollar
In
spent.
1980.
In 1980,
Wow.
31 cents out of every retail dollar. As of 2021, on average, 14 cents.
14, I was thinking it was 15.
Yeah, 14 cents,
In 40 years.
14 cents. So we're still
80 to now, right?
Yeah. So we're
Right.
still eating, and
Right.
we're still producing food, and the people that are producing it are
Getting
less
half.
than half
Yes.
of what they were receiving in 1980. And we're still putting food on the table with fewer inputs, less land area, and now getting less money for it.
And, we're not, that's just how it is, and that's how it will continue to be. I mean,
It was,
and we're in the food business, and we're in the food business, and, well, we're integrated as much as anybody, and, there is, you just don't have any particular choices. We have these costs and these costs here, and, when fuel goes up, when labor goes up, when, those particular big drivers, go up, plus the price of food, you don't have any choice, in regard to raising those prices. And, we work at it. Gracie works at it. We do. But, I'm not ashamed to say that, putting a pound of, a good steak in front of you is costing $30. That's just the way life is. And that's the way it will continue to be.
Sure.
And there's other alternative choices, I mean, we're still feeding all the chicken or all the roast beef you want for what, $14 a piece? You know what I'm saying? And you can't go to McDonald's for that.
Right.
I mean, nothing wrong with them
and
either,
it,
but
and it wasn't too long ago, everyone was talking about the price of eggs.
Yeah.
still are.
Still
Yeah.
are, but there were reasons for it, and at least hopefully the education was out there to
The bird flu.
People,
Yeah.
the bird flu to a certain extent, but I think more for the fact that it was California
And
the
and the regulations that were
that they won't let
imposed.
them
The
be
cage.
in cage. And those are
And the
things
labor
that I feel like that's a big thing that we need to educate people about.
Sure.
Because
Well, now everybody in Columbia, Missouri has a chicken hut, right?
no,
I
I don't have a
I was just
chicken
saying,
house.
I was just saying,
I'm just
Sarah
glad-
lives there, she doesn't have one either.
I'm
so.
just talking,
Yeah.
but,
No, yeah.
there's a lot of people, and I support it. I mean, I think it's a good idea, if you're in an urban area and if you want to have chickens, to let them crow and let them do whatever and get to learn
Sure.
about what's going on. We went to a fundraiser the other night at Union at IC, and they had this complete chicken coop thing there, you know what I'm saying?
I would love
With a
one.
little run and
Oh,
doing
fun.
whatever. And I think it brought $1,400, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, it might hold like 6 or 7. I don't know what it holds, but it's going to be a long time before their prize eggs are going to drop that much.
Sure.
Recoup the coop on that.
But
Well, it was a benefit, you know what
yeah,
I'm
it's
saying?
fun.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the price of the steak that it costs to put on the plate.
Oh.
But here's the other piece: knowing where it comes from is a huge part of what makes a person that is a consumer. That makes them happy. I know when I come out here, I know how you've raised it. I know the grass it's, being grown on. And I look forward to it.
And you know what
And
to
I
expect.
know what I can expect because
I
I
can
know
stick them up
that's-
here if you want.
Yeah, lunch. We were talking about that. Yeah, I'm free. Yeah. No, but I mean, and that's a huge thing because unfortunately, there are a lot of people in this world that have to rely on, going to a grocery store. They have to rely on making sure that what we do that gets to the grocery store is the same thing that we're going to feed our kids. The same thing that we're going to put on the plates at our home. And they have to understand that we are working hard. We're working hard for them too.
Yes, there's no question, and not easy decisions. The decisions that are made in regard to food and in regard to the political climate, that we're in. Where's your food coming from? How is it made? All of those particular things are not easy choices, and there's a lot of economic issues tied up in those particular, situations. So I don't think people understand the complexity of the marketplace today, and I don't know that they understand that little issues, like losing Mexico from buying our corn, are pretty daggum dramatic in the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? And got to realize to some degree that we are the America's food basket, but we're not perfect either, and we have to have incoming supplies. You know what I'm saying? To a big deal to balance a lot of these trade issues and what's there. I don't know what we would do right now, even though, and my numbers might be wrong. You probably know better, but an awful lot of milk has come across from the northern border, you know what I'm saying, in regard to dairy. And I would rather have them here,
Sure.
but, we will get them here, as far as I know, but it doesn't happen overnight. We had an exodus of dairy, you know what I'm saying, small dairy people.
Right.
Now they're rebuilding in Kansas, the way I understand, big time,
That's good.
to utilize our feed stuff that we have out there and maybe, get more of it here.
I would love to pretend that I understand how milk is marketed in the United States, but I think I would have a better shot of being a quantum physicist than figuring that out.
Same thing.
It might as well be.
Right.
I mean, you need a slide rule and a whole lot of calculations to understand that. What I do know is, yes, we're losing dairy farms. I being the dairy superintendent at the fair, I have a lot of friends that they've chosen to spend their days in the milk barn making sure that the cows are taken care of, and I have my 1 gallon of 2% on the table, and I'm an ice cream connoisseur, so that's really important too. But they work day in and day out. These are people that do not take vacations. They don't have the whole family leave the farm for graduation and things like that because cows have to be milked. They don't take a day off, and yet they're getting pennies on the dollar. They're being charged for transportation. They're being charged, for not having enough milk fat or having too much, just all of these things to make sure that what we get at our table is safe and appropriate. And it's tough.
And I don't know, and the dairy is one thing, the hogs are another, the poultry is another kind of situation. But we could talk forever and all day about that. The cows are, cow-calves are really the only thing at this juncture that there's a limit, you know what I'm saying, to how big the cow-calf thing can get with land being
Because of
dispersed,
land.
Yeah.
all over and all of those particular things and whatever. But, there's so much here. But let's go back, Amy, and tell me, you're at every level. What is the most important, I guess that's a stupid question, but
Everything's
what's the issues that you are working on currently at the federal level?
At the federal level, we're still coming off of our annual meeting, so I don't have all of those resolution priorities off the top of my head.
Right.
At the state level, however, one of the things that Farm Bureau is really looking at doing is adding a member benefit health care. That is something, you know, we all, with the Affordable Care Act, have had the opportunity, if you are self-employed, a lot of farmers, self-employed. And that is talking about eating away at the bottom line, paying for your insurance for your family if you wanted to be a full-time farmer and not have a spouse that left the farm, got a job in town
For the insurance.
for the insurance. And so.
Which it don't even seem to be sensible,
yeah,
but
no.
we've all did
Said
it.
that. We heard from various ones, well, and we know so many.
Sure.
That's, insurance rules our lives.
Yeah, and we have to have it, so nobody's arguing that, but what Farm Bureau has made a big priority this year, we're kind of jumping on, there's 6 other states that already offer this as, to their membership, a health insurance, not a health insurance benefit plan to their members. That would be, it would be an application process. Our local insurance dealers would be able to offer that to.
They will broker it.
They were,
won't
yeah,
they?
broke, yeah, that's the word. broker.
Facilitated and
And that would be
and
something.
serve it.
Yes.
I mean, that's the
Yes.
other thing about that is big, 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 because I don't know who's got my, well, the government now.
Well, and
It's
that's,
taken a while,
and
but-
that's kind of what we're looking for, is to kind of, to fill that gap, you know, for folks that are looking to have insurance, affordable insurance. It would be, you know, all Farm Bureau members would be eligible to apply, and kind of pool our resources as a membership group. When we were teaching school, we had a teachers consortium.
Group.
Because we, you know, being a small school district, our rates,
Yep.
you know, were sometimes fairly high, but when we were able to pool with other school districts in our area, and it's a very similar concept for our state membership as well.
And there again, you know, in the school, and we did it when I was in the county, you know, we got insurance and putting a team together that could understand and educate each other in regard to what it was, because there's a lot of complexity here in all of these things. I don't even know if I'm on A, B, or C, D Medicare or whatever, but Karen says I need hearing. You know, but I have not been listening sometimes, but you know. Okay, so anyway, that's a big thing, and you know, hopefully you will succeed, and we tweak the laws.
They've had several meetings. It's Senate Bill 11. A couple of sponsors that are looking at, you know, really having conversations. And so I know our president went and had conversations and sat in on meetings to share kind of our rationale and how it would look and why it would benefit the members to be able to do that should we change some.
It's not a matter of taking away from anything
Oh, no, it's
else.
not taking away from anything
It's-
else.
It's an add-
It's just an added benefit to the folks from Farm Bureau.
So to become a Farm Bureau member, you can become a Farm Bureau member, at least you used to could, and you didn't have to buy the insurance. You know,
Oh,
couldn't you
definitely.
just have an affiliation with them for XYZ a year or whatever? I don't even know.
$30.
$30.
Okay,
It's a
uh,
great bargain.
So you're a member, Karen takes care of that.
I'm
so
sure.
you know, thank goodness. But you know, and
Secretary's Day is
then
coming up.
I know we're members because we get these emails from Dorothea and whatever all the time, and you know, from the state and whatever. I kind of know what's going on, and to some degree watch those issues. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying, that they're working on. But you know, in one of the things, and we talked about education, but getting the knowledge to the young farmers, getting a perspective to the young farmers is tremendously important. That they can, I don't care if they just are in a room when they talk about what do you do when you have a set of twins or whatever, cows. Our kids,
You've got that or triplets, sure.
you know, I don't care what it is, but getting in those kind of situations where they can have mentors one way or the other.
I
How
think,
important is
yeah,
that?
It is very important, and just networking with other people, which is what you're saying.
That's the word I was
Yeah,
looking
that's-
for,
Yeah,
you know.
that's the one. And I always felt, going to the state meetings, young farmer meetings and stuff like that, with peers.
Yeah.
And anytime you get more people together in a room doing anything, you've got more ideas and bouncing off.
And under an umbrella, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's always interesting. I know your meetings are interesting, without a doubt. Sometimes there's no doubt, because there's various of opinions on everything. There's no doubt about it at all. But coming together and supporting the major cause is, you have to think about where this country would be without, lobbying and helping educate people on the behalf of the farmer. It would be not a very positive thing, in my opinion.
Sure.
It's very, very, very important. There's no question.
Well, to speak to what Dorothea had mentioned, just getting peers in the room. As someone who didn't grow up on a farm, I grew up in South Kansas City and met my husband.
Welcome. You're learning.
I'm learning. There's a huge learning curve for what I had to figure out. And I mean, my grandparents grew up on a farm, and I spent time on a farm, so it wasn't foreign to me. But adjusting to living on a farm, having family, in and out, day to day, phone call, cows are out, hey, we got to go move equipment, and know that no matter what you're doing, that takes precedent immediately. I mean, those are things that you can't put off, no matter what else you had planned for the day. Getting a chance to sit down with other young farmers who are also involved in working with their family on a lot of different levels. We have a farm business, we have, the tractor and implement dealerships, and understanding how everybody works together. It provided a support network, for me as well. And those people that were in our YF&R group in 2002 and 3 and 4.
Hey, I go back.
Yeah, I know. Those are people that are actually still shaping the leadership in our state. Our director of ag, Chris Chin, her and her husband were Kevin was our committee chair, with YF&R. And Chris is now our director of agriculture. Todd Hayes, he and his wife were on the committee with us. They're Todd is the vice president of Missouri Farm Bureau. And his leadership and voice have added, lots of insight, testified on different committees, still very involved. We have, members that are on the Corn Growers Association board and the soybean board. And, Steve Shear over in Franklin County, was Franklin County president for years. And, so these are people that are still lending their expertise and lending their time, and the mentors that you talked about, they became my mentors, to learn kind of my role and how I could play a part on being part of our family farm.
And still are, probably.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Once you have one.
On speed dial some days. I don't know what to do. And that's important. And that young farmers piece gave us a good foundation. And as you grow up, then there's other places they'll ask you to work on a commodity committee. They're for certain at certain times they'll ask you to continue supporting with resolutions. You might be county president. Dorothea served our county for a lot of years as our county president. They've started a new impact group, which is kind of another leadership program where it gives our members an opportunity to travel different places throughout the state, looking at specific issues affecting those areas, gaining some insight and knowledge on just all of the pieces in ag, production ag, as well as the legislative pieces. We've got the Promotion and Education Committee. That's what, kind of we're here today talking about how to share the message to consumers, to let them know that we're raising the most safe and abundant food for their families, and getting those into classrooms all over our state.
And this is the week. This
is the week.
This is
It
the week that we all look around the table and look down at the table, and we thank a farmer, and especially thank a farmer's wife.
We
because
should have a separate week for that.
Yesterday was
National Women's Day.
National Women's
Yes,
Day. Did you
yeah.
know that? Oops.
have you seen the weather out?
It was.
I didn't know
you know.
put it on the radio.
Yeah.
It's like a what?
Yeah, International Women's Day.
I didn't do radio yesterday, so I didn't prepare myself for. No, but
But yeah, I mean,
you know, it is extremely important, and it's just one of the little things, you know, but they're huge things that you do and bring people's attention, you know, back to where it should be to have an
Well,
understanding.
And I guess thank a farmer is an okay title, but we don't do it for the thanks. I think it's more for just letting people know that we're here and that we're trying to do our best
Yeah.
and whatever. But
And yes, I totally understand it. I totally get it. But a lot of them do deserve some recognition, however that may be. And you know, I understand, you know, that part of it, but it wouldn't be good without them. You know, and
well, I'd go hungry myself.
I was just say your
because I don't-
waistline might look a little different without them. You know. No extra
And what-
steaks.
there will.
None of the desserts. No ice cream for me.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's no way to live.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, that's no way to live.
well, they're you know, did some reading not too long ago that in the overall economy of the world, you know, the big GDP picture, that 65%, and it varies to some degree, but over 65% of the entire world GDP is food. I want you to think about that a
wow.
little bit. In every kind of situation, the GDP is the gross domestic product of everything that is produced in the world. That 65% of the GDP is food. Now,
It does not leave much.
well, you know, I mean, you look at that and say, well, that can't be right. But I want you to go
just
back and
looking at
think
our
about,
area.
you know, the fuel, you know, that it takes to
Okay.
produce those crops, okay? I want you to think about the entire machinery industry that produces that. You know, the entirety of all of the commodity bases that there is, the total labor and workforce that goes in to that food processing,
And the
even
technology
to
behind
Gracie
it.
waiting on tables. You do that anymore?
I don't.
You think you might know that,
Right.
You would just a
Only for
thought.
like the past 5 years I haven't been.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's okay. Just for special occasions, she brings out those skills.
That's right.
You just think about all that stuff because you're on the road a lot.
Yeah.
You travel an awful lot.
I do.
And
I eat out a lot.
Nothing personal there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But think about what portion of your budget is spent on the food that you eat in regard to get there. I mean, you know,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, mine is. I guess you could say drink too.
Hey, but that's agricultural product.
It is agriculture.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Eat a grape or drink a bottle of wine this week. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's good for all. There's no question.
Right, right. Well, I wanted to brag on Gasconade County for a second. We came up with an idea, a bushel of books, and our county board said, what a fun idea, you know, make it happen. And so we selected all ag-accurate books. These are all on American...
No talking animals?
No talking animals, none of that. And one of them is even written by an author in Missouri. The fabulous, fantastic Field Trip to the Dairy Farm is written by a colleague of mine.
Really?
About her experiences. She's a Farm Bureau member in Lawrence County. And anyway, you know, we picked all these books, and it's kind of a nice variety. They are geared towards, you know, some of the younger kids, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, at max, I would say. But, you know, we picked also some of the ag mags. We've got all sorts of fun little magazines that revolve around, you know, even ag careers and dairy and all the commodity groups. We've got beef and soybeans and corn to share. And we're donating a basket like this to all of the elementary school libraries in our county
Wow, that's
as
awesome.
part of our Thank a Farmer celebration.
That's awesome. And I don't know if you're aware of it, but we have a friend of ours from Bland who's wrote a couple of books, and she'd been
Sunshine.
Sunshine, yep.
She is on this
She-
state committee
She's
now.
on our state P&E committee as well.
And
She-
you know,
Yep.
their walnut, the last one,
Yeah,
maybe,
the
well,
Red
maybe
Barn.
not the last one,
She has the,
but I know the barn book that I read it
yeah.
twice a week.
Oh, I bet you
for
do.
all of my grandkids. You know
Sure.
what I'm
Good.
saying?
Sure.
That's one of their favorite. You
Yeah.
know, to go get up on Grandpa's lap and
Sure.
well, you know, I don't know if that's part of it, but that's
I'd say that
that's
has
the
a lot
price
to do
they
with
gotta
it.
pay.
Sure.
You know,
You know,
to do that.
read.
So, yeah, you
Yeah.
know, and you know, while you're talking about this, there's a Fricke at Herman that has wrote some outstanding books. Dennis Fricke's wife,
Okay.
go on, and she has. I mean, they're more novels and whatever, but they're about agriculture.
Okay.
And you know what, or some of them are, you know, and I'm in one of them.
Oh, that's what.
Well,
we're
you know,
doing.
well, I'm not so named,
Okay.
but it's about the feed business. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
She
And
didn't drop your name.
no, she put me in the character. Can you imagine characterizing me?
I can't imagine. Cannot
I
imagine.
know.
I know.
Hey, we're on KTUI 1560 AM, 94.1 FM, or Facebook Live. I hope you've tuned in today, and we're having a good time, aren't we?
We
Yeah,
are.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Very good.
we are here talking about Farm Bureau and education and all of the above, but we need to take a little break here on KTUI and have Gracie get us up to speed. What else is going on in our neck of the wood? It is spring here, and you know, to me, that means food is starting to grow. Well, I know you guys looked outside, but food is starting to grow. I mean, it grows all the time, but we're thinking about gardening.
There is hope out there.
You know, there is hope. There's no question about it at all, and that's a good thing. But I know. This said, I look at the stack that Gracie's got.
Quite a few.
We got, you know,
We got lots of food to go eat.
we got. Yeah, we need to be focused on food.
Alrighty, the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church in Owensville is having a drive-through parking lot order or pickup fish and shrimp fry Friday, March 10th from 4 until 7, and then it'll be every Friday until March 31st as well. Zion Lutheran Church is having their 8th annual Pancake Day. They will be serving pancakes and sausage Saturday, March 11th from 7:30 a.m. until 10. And that's at Zion in Owensville. The Owensville Senior Center is having a fundraiser, carry-out or dine-in corned beef and cabbage dinner Sunday, March 12th. They will be serving from 10:30 until 1. That's at the Owensville Senior Center. Adults are $11, ages 10 and under are $6.
Corned beef and cabbage
That time of year.
It's the season.
coming up.
St. John's UCC and BEM is having a smorgasbord Sunday, March 12th, serving from 11 until 1:30. Carryouts are available. Plates are $13, and then 5 and under are for free. And that's at St. John's UCC and BEM.
Chicken and dumplings and pork.
Pork and ham and meat loaf. Wow.
Ah,
Mashed potatoes and gravy.
we, just asking. You know what I'm saying?
It
I
was probably in our area, side by side, ride would work. Yeah.
As long as it's not freezing.
That
Put a
works.
cooler on the back, you know.
That works.
That's great.
There's a benefit here at the White Mule for Tyra Mangrum Saturday, March 18th. Doors will open at 5. Tickets are $50 per person, and they can be found at First State Community Bank or Seago's Auto Body in Owensville. Silent auction will be from 5 until 7. Dinner is at 5:30. Live auction is at 7:30, and a DJ will be following the auction. And the money is raised to help the family with medical bills and expenses.
Awesome.
You know, every once in a while, you know, you really get to appreciate what you do. And this is one of those times when you can have a benefit. And for people that you know, and And it's just a great thing to see our community, see the generosity of our community come together, and they do time and time again for whatever the particular need is. If you educate
And
them,
often it has been right here.
Right here.
and we're blessed to have that, and we will have more. I know we got a lot of things going on, and I don't keep up with the calendar so well, but
You have a lot of secretaries that help you with that.
I'm thankful for that, and I need more.
We do need more.
I need
He
more.
continues in the PR work.
That's right.
That's right.
You're good at that.
What do we have on at the White Mule this weekend?
This Friday night, we have steaks, country fried steak, beef kebabs, grilled shrimp or salmon. This Friday night from 5 until 8:30. Saturday is pizza, wings, and hamburgers from noon until 5, and then our steak dinners after that. Sunday is all-you-can-eat pan-fried chicken and roast beef from 11 until 3:30.
And I'm not singing this weekend.
Did you?
I don't have an
Never. I want to make people know.
I have missed that treat, that would be
Yeah,
a Facebook Live moment, I'm sure.
No, I don't do that. I
But
want to
you're
do our
like
best,
that.
but I'm just announcing that I'm not.
Okay.
In case people were, thinking
Worried.
about it, worried, concerned, Karen might, but
Sure.
she can do that.
She does.
So, what a pleasure, ladies. Thanks for what you do, and one more shout out to Thank a Farmer Week. Anybody in particular, that we want to bring up or talk about or whatever? I know there's a lot of great people out there doing, a lot of good things, and
Our P&E committee right now on the county
yes,
is Sherry Fricky
yes,
and Krista Hardeke.
yes.
Right?
My God, they've did a lot too, haven't they?
Sure.
They have.
They're,
And 2 more women, if you're counting.
And they would not come and talk today, but they knew
because
the
they're,
background.
they are, just so you know, they're both out reading books in Herman today, and then we're going to go to Bland, and so, yeah, they're not here because they are someplace else.
You know what? One of the most fulfilling things that I've did is that when I got to Jeff City, my LA said, Charlie, you think you know a lot about a lot of stuff, but she said, you don't know much about education. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to get you some books, and I'm going to put you in every classroom in your district to learn about education. One of the most fulfilling and understanding things that I did in my life was walking into kindergarten and realizing what you have to do to keep their attention, as well as lecturing at East Central, and how much you had to do to keep their attention.
For sure.
I mean,
doesn't
and it's
change.
all the way, you got to be animated,
Yeah.
and, but I appreciate that, and I appreciate what you do, because you can walk into a classroom pretty quickly and understand what you're dealing with as far as character, what you're dealing there in regard to what the value of our system is. Am I wrong?
No, but I certainly appreciate the educators and all of the things they are dealing with now.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Very
God.
much so. Just,
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
Oh,
And I've only been out for 6 years. I mean, I had this little sweet face in my 4th grade class, hanging out with 4-H projects and
see,
spending the
I
night.
had Woody in kindergarten.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that goes back a little
Yeah.
farther.
So,
I could say stuff, but I'm not going to.
Yep, I had Woody in 4th grade too. Yeah. So, but the transition from what we were expected to do and what we were, what were asked of us as educators, fast forward to the post-COVID generation is,
Yeah,
it's incredible. And I'm while I'm sad that I don't get the interaction daily with the kids in the classroom,
But you're okay with
I'm
it, too.
okay. I'm really okay.
And the interaction with the parents is over the top, then we're going to leave it at that.
Sure.
Or some of the action.
Yeah.
Of some of the parents
It's
is
a whole different
over
world.
the
The
top.
support,
So,
different world.
when you have the support. that's
bless
what-
you. Thank you for what you do. Our door's always open to you. We appreciate what you do, and we appreciate you being here today. And have a good week. Go out and thank a farmer, of course, and thank your wives for cooking you a meal or even taking you out to dinner tonight. Thank you for doing those kind of things, because it's all the same. And next week,
Hopefully,
will I be back? Oh, Dr.
leaving the
Hardy.
following week.
Well, Dr. Hardy, and if not, we got somebody else, a couple planned, and then we're also going to talk about the Rosebud district fire, situation yet before election, and get some information in regard to that. So big stuff coming on, important stuff coming on. God bless you. We will see you next week, same time, same place.
Just an incoherent collection of wishes that don't add up. The death toll from the snowstorms in California's San Bernardino